welcome once more to the sequel of this series of the top 5 tallest building demolitions. Today, we're going to be witnessing 5 new buildings that had their downfalls. You know the drill, so let's get started. Coming in at number 5, we've got Ocean Tower. Not too far from SpaceX's Starship facility was the Ocean Tower of South Padre Island in the American state of Texas. Before it collapsed in 2009, it stood 115 meters, or a little more than 375 feet tall. The structure was planned to house opulent condos with a spa, gym, and swimming pool for residents to use for relaxation. But after 2 years of building, the support columns for the Ocean Tower began to show signs of cracking. It was discovered that the tower's base had sunk by almost 16 inches. Because of this, the building's nickname, the Leaning Tower of South Padre, had become official. The destruction of Ocean Tower, the highest reinforced concrete skyscraper to ever implode, set a record for destruction in less than 15 seconds. What was supposed to be a $2 million per unit oceanfront skyscraper had a strong building style. So its demise was an engineering feat. It took months of planning, over a ton of explosives, and 2.5 miles of detonating cord. During its time, the $75 million building was the largest concrete structure to ever be imploded. The building was never occupied. It had been under construction for more than 2 years when it first started to sag and fold. More than 100 feet below the ground, pier supports in the shaky clay started to buckle, placing strain on the beams and the column. Spalling, breaking, and cracking were all present. And there was eventually tilting as well. In 2008, the project came to an end. By that time, 151 condos out of more than 100 had been sold. A return of deposits was required, but by Sunday, only the structure of the building remained. Bathtubs, flooring, windows, and other items were sold to the highest bidder. A true marvel. But yeah, we're moving on to number 4. And we have J.L. Hudson's department store. This department store in Detroit, Michigan, which opened way back in 1911, saw one of the most extreme demolitions ever. The structure housed both offices and retail establishments. The 134-meter or 440-foot tall store was the tallest department store in the world when it initially opened to the public. In 1998, J.L. Hudson's department store was destroyed after opening for more than 80 years. 20,000 spectators took in the implosion. The bomb was so powerful that it shattered the windows of nearby vacant retail establishments. Even the city's elevated rail system, the Detroit People Mover, sustained inadvertent damage. In less than 10 seconds, the flagship shop of Detroit's most recognizable retailer collapsed into a 660 million pound mound of brick, concrete, and steel. At the moment, entrepreneur Dan Gilbert is erecting a $909 million skyscraper there. The structure, which is currently only a hole in the ground, is going to become Michigan's tallest when it's finished in 2022. For many years, it was as closely associated with Christmas and fashion for as many years as Detroit was. The enormous Hudson's department store at Woodward and Gattriot Avenues, which grew alongside Motor City until it was the tallest department store in the world, was simply immense. The store eventually grew to almost unbelievable proportions. They dubbed it the Big Store for this reason. Its 316 square feet made it the second largest department store, behind only Macy's in New York. With 32 stories and a height of 410 feet, Hudson's was the world's tallest department store. On a staggering 49 acres of floor space, Hudson's offered more than 200 departments with around 600,000 items for 16,000 merchants. At its peak, there were 12,000 employees and 100,000 daily visitors. Sales for Hudson's exceeded $163 million in 1954, which is an astounding $1.28 billion in today's dollars, adjusted for inflation. To summarize, the sad yet beautiful demise of a building with the richest history and value in Manhattan. Up next at number 3, we got the Landmark Tower. The Landmark Tower in Fort Worth, Texas, stands 380 feet or roughly 116 meters tall. The structure was the tallest skyscraper in the city in 1957, when it was originally opened to the public. On top of the structure, there was the biggest rotating digital clock on the entire globe. When the tower reached the end of its lifespan, it had been fully occupied for its first 30 years. It was decided that the building should be destroyed after it was seriously damaged by a tornado in March of 2000. The Midwest Wrecking Company performed the implosion in 2006 after evacuating 15 city blocks. The landmark tower was brought down in a matter of minutes with the aid of just under 360 pounds of explosives. In order to erect a new parking garage nearby, the location was investigated once more in 2016. The structure was left unoccupied for 16 years after it was abandoned in 1990. For safety reasons, the clock and skywalk were taken down at that time, again for safety reasons after they were destroyed in the storm that hit Fort Worth in 2000. In 2004, a company called XTO Energy purchased the structure from the bank in a foreclosure sale. The company opted to demolish the structure in order to create parking spaces and maybe a new building in the future after finding the anticipated $62 million cost to renovate the building was unaffordable. And this ended up in us being able to watch the majestic demolition of this building. Let's move on to the next building. At number 2, we have the Golden Flower Building in Jian City. The Golden Flower Building, which stood 118 meters or 387 feet tall and was located in Jian City, China, was destroyed in November 2015. The nation's highest skyscraper was destroyed by this demolition. Even though the high-rise building belonged to Jinhua Pharmaceutical Factory officially, it had been vacant since its first construction in 1996. China ultimately chose to employ the Penchang Explosion Company to demolish the skyscraper since it appeared to be too expensive to just try and remodel it. To lessen the impact of the explosion, the business first dug a 13-foot deep trench around the perimeter. According to the People's Daily Online, the 26-story building was the tallest to be demolished in China. The local government estimated that cleaning up the explosion's 66-foot-high pile of debris would take about 70 days. Which has probably been done because the demolition occurred in the year 2017. The building was demolished 16 years after it was finished because it had never been used. On the same property, the new business complex had been planned. In Jian, Shaanxi Province, the Jinhua, or Golden Flower Building, was situated in the high-tech district. But lastly, at number 1, we've got the Mina Plaza. Despite the fact that this tower's construction was never finished, Mina Plaza holds the record for being the tallest structure to be destroyed. The plaza included 4 district towers that were each 165 meters, which is 541 feet tall. The Mina Plaza was first being built by developers in 2007, but then they stopped in 2012 as a result of a disagreement with the owners. Due to financial difficulties, the building was abandoned in 2014, despite their plans to finish it up that year. The capital's administration made the decision to tear down the structures in 2020. In addition to being viewed as an eyesore, the demolition was a part of a larger scheme to improve the Mina Zayed port. The crew in charge of destroying the Mina Plaza intended to guarantee that nobody in Abu Dhabi, the capital of the United Arab Emirates, would suffer injury as a result of the implosion. To carry out the most secure destruction feasible, they examined the structure and its surroundings. The towers were brought down by the use of 13,000 pounds of plastic explosives. After the first 3 of the buildings collapsed, all 4 were reduced to enormous piles of debris within about 10 seconds. Mina Zayed, inaugurated in 1972, has been Abu Dhabi's primary port for more than 40 years. It has earned a reputation as one of the marine industry's forerunners in the region, significantly advancing international trade in Abu Dhabi. And with that, we've come to an end for today's video. If you enjoyed smashing that like button, comment down below what your favorite part of the video was. Please like. Anyways, also don't forget to subscribe, turn on post notifications so that you're notified when we drop our next video, and yeah. Also, you can watch part 3 when we release it. But until then, we're just gonna have to see you till next time. Later.